Did you know 2024 is set to be the most pivotal year in professional tennis? Starting with Jannik Sinner's incredible rise to success, this video explores the seismic shifts shaking the foundations of the sport. Learn how tradition battles innovation and what this means for players and fans alike. If you're not tuned in, you're missing out on the reinvention of a global phenomenon. Stay tuned to the end to see how tennis is transforming before our eyes. Last September, Jannik Sinner was eliminated from the US Open during the round of 16 after a grueling 5-set match against Alexander Zverev. At that point, Sinner, the 22-year-old carrot-topped Italian, had yet to reach a Grand Slam final. His record included only a single title in the tournaments below the Grand Slams, achieved a few weeks prior. Despite the recognition of his potential, few were forecasting a rapid ascent to the top for the 22-year-old, nor could they have anticipated the remarkable journey he has embarked on since. Fast forward 7 months, and the narrative has dramatically shifted. Grigor Dimitrov, the experienced Bulgarian player at age 32, has openly declared he is the best player in the world right now, following a decisive defeat at Sinner's hands. The match took place in the Miami Open last March, where Dimitrov was overwhelmed by Sinner with scores of 6-3, 6-1. This victory marked Sinner's 23rd win in his last 24 matches this season. As a consequence, Sinner ascended to the number 2 spot in the latest rankings, marking a significant milestone for him and signaling another wave of upheaval in an already tumultuous season. For a long time, the men's professional tennis scene was characterized by its predictability. Recently, the pursuit was all about catching up to Novak Djokovic, particularly after a year in which he clinched 3 Grand Slam titles, narrowly missed a 4th, and ended the year ranked number 1. Given this dominance, there seemed little reason to expect a shift in the status quo this year, barring the emergence of Carlos Alcaraz as a potential new frontrunner. In women's tennis, Iga Swiatek stood out as a dominant force, expected to continue her reign for the foreseeable future. Meanwhile, players frequently voiced their frustrations with the relentless schedule and the crammed calendar, which scarcely allowed them any downtime. However, the authorities overseeing tennis, including the Grand Slam organizers and the leaders of the men's and women's tours, often responded with resignation, asserting that this relentless pace was an unchangeable aspect of the sport, destined to persist indefinitely. Yet it only took 3 months for this entrenched outlook to be upended, or more accurately, shelved. After all, there remains a possibility for Novak Djokovic to regain his prime form, for Swiatek to rediscover the level of play that enabled her to amass 37 consecutive victories, and for the current initiatives aimed at transforming tennis to dissipate, echoing the fate of similar past endeavors. However, as the 2024 tennis season transitions from the hard courts of Australia, the Middle East, and North America, which dominate the season's opening quarter, to Europe's clay and grass courts in spring and early summer, uncertainty has become the prevailing theme. This was particularly evident during the last 2 weeks at the Miami Open, where the unpredictability of outcomes has captivated the tennis world. If you had predicted last September that Sinner would rise to become the leading force in the world of tennis, and that Danielle Collins, then the 53rd ranked American, would clinch a significant title, then you saw further ahead than most. Few could have anticipated such outcomes, yet this is precisely how the season's first quarter has unfolded, a realm filled with unexpected turns and disorder, where the seemingly improbable increasingly becomes likely as each week progresses. Djokovic has yet to secure a tournament victory this year and failed to reach the final of the Australian Open, a title he's claimed 10 times, often with minimal challenge in recent years. Recently, he parted ways with his longtime coach, Goran Ivanisevic, who played a pivotal role in his capture of 12 Grand Slam titles. Over the past 6 months, Djokovic has also replaced several other key team members. He expressed uncertainty about appointing a new coach, indicating he might consider going at it alone for some time. Carlos Alcaraz, widely regarded as Djokovic's successor, displayed glimpses of his remarkable talent at the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells, California, part of the initial leg of the esteemed Sunshine Double, which wrapped up in Miami recently. However, despite his rapid ascent to the top of the tennis world, a journey marked by evident delight, he has confessed to facing challenges in rediscovering those feelings of joy, both in training sessions and during competitions for several months now. Did you anticipate that Stefanos Tsitsipas from Greece, merely 25 years old and previously seen as the future leader of the sport, would bounce back in 2023, fully fit and ready to realize his potential? It just hasn't quite turned out that way. Tsitsipas, who has devoted himself to tennis for years, now finds himself navigating some chaos beyond the boundaries of his former routine. Since the middle of last year, he's been romantically involved with women's tennis star Paula Badosa. After dropping out of the top 10 in February, he's looking forward to a comeback on the European clay courts, which he greatly adores. Świątek has shown moments of dominance, but has also appeared vulnerable at times. She has been defeated by players including Linda Noskova from the Czech Republic and the Russians, Anna Kalinskaya and Ekterina Alexandrova, with only Alexandrova ranking in the top 20. Aryna Sabalenka, who briefly took over the number 1 spot from Świątek last autumn, appeared as a strong contender. However, since clinching the Australian Open title, Sabalenka has had a balanced record of 3-3 and is currently coping with a profound loss. 2 weeks prior, Konstantin Kolstov, a former hockey player and Sabalenka's partner for the last 3 years, was found deceased in Miami, a case the police are treating as a presumed suicide. Shortly after Kolstov's passing, Sabalenka competed in the Miami Open, exiting after her second match, and has since maintained a low profile, aside from expressing her grief and requesting privacy through a social media statement. As she resumes training in an effort to regain a sense of normalcy, the impact of these events on Sabalenka's performance in the up-and-coming clay season is uncertain. At 25, Sabalenka had previously faced the loss of her father at age 19, adding another layer to her resilience and emotional journey. The tennis world is in flux, with Grand Slam leaders proposing a major overhaul of the professional circuit. Their vision trims the season to feature just the slams, top 10 events like the Sunshine Double, and each tour's finals, open to only the top 100 players, pushing others into a secondary tier. This has sparked pushback from the ATP and WTA, which see it as diminishing their events. They're counteracting with a potential Saudi partnership to keep the status quo and add a Riyadh event, despite player grievances over the grueling schedule and lower earnings compared to other sports. The player-led Professional Tennis Players Association is now seeking significant changes, with crucial discussions set for Madrid soon. Amidst all this, Jannik Sinner stands out for his consistency, clinching 3 titles from 4 tournaments after a transformative last season that saw him overcoming Djokovic twice and steering Italy into the Davis Cup. Despite not anticipating such a stellar performance, Sinner credits his success to improved physical condition and a knack for capitalizing on opponents' minor mistakes. Yet, as the clay season is upon us, Sinner faces his historical nemesis, challenging his recent ascendancy and possibly opening the field to rivals like Djokovic, Alcaraz, and hopefully an on-the-mend Nadal. As 2024 progresses, unpredictability reigns, making each tournament's outcome more intriguing.